Welcome to the driver's seat. I'm standing next to this beautiful 2024 Toyota Crown. It only comes in hybrid, and there are two different hybrid powertrains, which we'll get into. Starting price around $40,000, and it could go up to the low 50s. While Toyota is one of the few car companies that still continues to produce sedans, they did get rid of the Avalon, and I'm not saying that this is a replacement for it, but it took its place. It's not as big as the Avalon, and in many ways it kind of looks like the new Prius, but in a sedan format. This body style is very aerodynamic, which is great, but it's not a hatchback. You still have a proper trunk, which we'll show you. But overall, very impressed, beautiful styling, and I think they have a nice differentiator here for people not really set on a Camry. We've been driving this Crown for almost a week, put about 600 miles on it. Very little to complain about. It's just one of these plug-and-play vehicles. Got great range because it is a hybrid. This is more what I call kind of a personal sedan because of its sporty appearance. So it's not a traditional sedan. I think it's an ideal vehicle for people who may only use the front seats 90% of the time, but occasionally just need that space in the back. Well, Toyota's really gotten intelligent with their packaging as far as where they're putting their battery packs. If you remember the early hybrids, they would literally eat up half the trunk. And now they've just gotten much smarter with where they're positioning their vehicles. A lot of that has to do with the fact that this Crown, for example, was designed from the ground up to be a hybrid. That's the only way you can get it. Whereas in other cases, they've basically retrofitted existing vehicles to make them into a hybrid. So, but when you're able to design it from the ground up, knowing that it's going to be a hybrid, or at least some of the sales are going to come from hybrid versions, then you can package the batteries better and you don't lose all that trunk space. So Toyota is clearly the leader in the entire world for hybrids. A lot of the new products they're launching are pretty much hybrid only. And it's not just for fuel economy, it's to give it that extra boost, that instant torque. So you get a lot of benefits. If you can handle that whiny CVT noise, if that doesn't bother you, then this vehicle is an easy recommendation to make. The Toyota Crown is definitely much more sporty than the Avalon or even the Camry. It's just the way they packaged it. I like it. There are things I don't like about it, but one of the things that we have never seen before and I'm pretty impressed with is where they put their key wireless charging. Every vehicle I've been in has had the charging as like a flat kind of pad. And the problem with that is you have to kind of find that exact spot. It doesn't always work. Now you can just drop your phone in, boom, vertical. Actually takes up less space. The footprint is about half as much as the flat horizontal one that you see in most vehicles. And phone stays put, charges nicely. Just little thoughtful things like that are really impressive. I like the steering wheel. It's very compact. Has all the right controls. They really went on. This is the limited edition, so they really went all out to make it sporty and distinctive from other Toyota sedans. Now, one of the things that I like and don't like is right here. There's a screen, essentially a camera that looks at the driver. Now, this is the proper driving position, but a lot of people like to drive like this, and if you do that, you're going to block this, and you're going to get an alert that you need to maybe pull over. Maybe you're getting tired. So just put your hands in the right position. But this is what Toyota's doing. They're doing this on a lot of their newer vehicles, and I'm okay with it. If it teaches people how to drive properly, then great. Obviously, you've got Apple CarPlay and all the all the features that we would expect, but you still have the plagued Toyota infotainment system when you're trying to get out of Apple CarPlay into XM, for example. It just takes several steps. We also don't have a tuning knob. These are a lot of the same things I recently complained about in the Lexus TX because they're using essentially the same componentry for the infotainment. and it is what it is. I've never been a fan of the hybrids, but they make a lot of sense. You don't have to plug them in, and they get good fuel economy. It's comfortable, it's attractive, it's really kind of a head turner. The average price of a new car in America today is $48,000. You can get into an entry-level Crown for about $41,000. So there's a lot of room there below the average transaction price of a new car. The best way to sum up the Crown, it's a very competent car that is relatively inexpensive to purchase compared to, again, average transaction prices. And because it's a Toyota, it's going to be inexpensive to own, and you'll have the great resale value. Toyota has really come a long way in the quality of their materials, and when you look at a Toyota today, it's almost where Lexus was about 10-15 years ago as far as the quality of materials. And so they've really moved the brand upscale. Here we are on a highway doing about 70. We'll take it up to 75. And just very planted, relatively quiet. Again, this vehicle is extremely aerodynamic. Toyota's just done a great job with the insulation, with all the noise dampening. But overall, it's just a sporty, comfortable vehicle to drive. All the gauge cluster is 100% digital, no more analog gauges, and they've really done a good job of simplifying the buttons. But I like the fact that they have buttons. When you look down here, you can see the controls. These are all proper buttons. Unlike the TX, which we recently got out of, which had almost no buttons. Everything is touch screen, haptic feedback, which is nice, but I just feel like the reliability and the quality of these buttons is much better. This is more user-friendly, more intuitive. I feel like this is one of the pluses for the Crown. The styling of this new Crown is very unique and very aggressive. Kind of reminds me of an Audi A5, if you may, but that car is a hatchback. But it has that kind of styling. It's very aggressive. Kind of a big departure for Toyota, which is a relatively conservative car company, especially when it comes to their designs. So I like what they're doing here. Time will tell if this is going to be one of their big sellers. I don't think so, because it is still a sedan and we're still in a crossover world. But it's nice to see what Toyota can produce when they put their imagination to it. So if you're in the market for a nice kind of 4 or 5 passenger sedan that looks more like this, which is kind of like a 4-door coupe, I would definitely have this one on your list. Great fuel economy. You got 2 great hybrid powertrains, and it's a Toyota. So you got a lot of that quality, reliability, and dependability that we have come to expect from Toyota. I'm Ron Doran. Thanks for watching. See you next time on The Driver's Seat.